Hey everyone! So I've got one other nagging question before I go inside, because I just got home. I want to know how Jehovah's Witnesses work. How do they have a career? I mean, is it really, really hard? Because there's very few industries that are specifically male or specifically female driven anymore. But even amongst themselves, they can't be in each other's presence one-on-one, male and female, because it's inappropriate. Even with themselves, and they're the good guys, they cannot be alone together. How do you have a job if you can't be in the presence of somebody of the opposite sex alone? How hard is it, I should say, to get and keep a job? I am frequently alone with other people that we could be driving in a car to a site meeting or an agency meeting together. My job prior to this was in a department of literally 8 guys and me. And I'm going to be really honest, there wasn't anything, I've had experience with harassment in other places, but the closest they got to anything is I got the nickname Boots for being literally the only one who wore boots. I just like work boots. I don't like sneakers. I mean, that's the worst of it. But these people can't even be alone in each other's presence. A Jehovah's Witness female cannot be in the presence of a Jehovah's Witness male because it's so inappropriate. I've heard of field service meetings where it was just the elder and one sister that showed up. So they had a quick meeting, decided they were going to meet at a parking lot and do service in a parking lot instead of door to door, so they weren't in a car alone together. And these are the good guys working with the good guys. Is it such a far-fetch that they think so lowly of worldly people that my judicial committee included an extremely long and elaborate, detailed play-by-play before the genre of true crime gave them these, you can't make this stuff up kind of plans? Who thinks of this? I'm not even going to say it. It's bad. It's they had this whole elaborate plan on how not only was somebody going to come up with this plan, but nobody would defend me, and every single person in that class would be in on it. Male, female, instructor, everybody was going to be in on it. And it was going to be my fault when I was brutally assaulted and probably killed. Is it such a far-fetch? Now, how do you have a job with that kind of mentality, with that kind of religious culture? How do you have a job where you're likely to be on a team with somebody of the opposite sex because your manager, employer, all of the above decides you should be able to be an adult and exist in a space with another human being without the expectation of being jumped or you jumping each other's bones? How... Do they hear how they sound? Really? Do they hear how they sound? How does this not translate into your workplace? I don't get it. How do you have a job or work for people? If it's a job, you are frequently alone with other people. Even retail, like what if you were sorting and stocking stuff in the back while somebody else ran the register? Be like, oh no, I can't do this. I need to be the one to do the register. Well, that's not what the manager said. Well, I can't do this. It's against my religion. It's like there's I don't get it. I don't get it. Do they impose on their bosses that much? And impose on the other staff members? Are they only adults? Do they only consider themselves adults outside of... Do they only consider themselves adults with any self-control outside of the Kingdom Hall? Ugh. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Somebody explain to me.